everybody, and welcome back to Daniellability. As you may or may not have noticed, it's been quite a while since I've done any YouTube videos. A big part of that is because with COVID going on, there's just not as much going on in life right now, as I'm sure all of you are well aware of. I haven't been going very many places or doing very many things, and so just not having as much content to talk about. And then also, I just haven't really wanted to add to all of the noise. We all are on our phones a ton right now with looking at news, and everybody seems to be putting out a ton of different content. And so a part of me just didn't really want to add to all of that, but I just felt like I needed to get on with life in a lot of different ways and just start doing things again that I enjoy, and one of those things is creating videos. So I thought I would cook something for you guys today. That way you can see not only how I get around my kitchen, but also you get to see one of my absolute favorite recipes and hopefully try it for yourself and see if you like it. So let's go ahead and get started. So today I'm going to be making sweet potato sliders. It's one of my absolute favorite recipes. They're super flavorful, super delicious, and really easy to make. There's just a lot of different steps, but once you know what they are, it's super easy to make. The first thing that we need to do is cover a cookie sheet with parchment paper. Like this, and then just set that aside for now. Next, you want to preheat your oven to 425. Next, you're going to cut a sweet potato that's been peeled and washed into little discs. Then you'll arrange your sweet potato on the cookie sheet and brush them with olive oil. I like to keep things pretty simple, so rather than dirtying a bowl with olive oil, I'm just going to drizzle it on and then brush it around with my brush. Next, we're gonna make the burger part of the sliders. So you're gonna take a pound of ground beef. Next, you're gonna mince some garlic. I'm super weird and I actually really like peeling garlic. I know that you can just pound it with a knife and it comes off, but for some reason I really like peeling it, so that's how I do it. Then you're gonna mince the garlic. Again, I like to keep things pretty simple, so some people might chop the garlic to mince it. I don't do that. I just cut the garlic cloves in half and use one of my favorite kitchen tools, my garlic press. So much easier than doing all that chopping. Next, you're gonna add your spices. Now, it calls for chipotle seasoning and taco seasoning, but I don't have either of those, so I'm just gonna use some red cayenne pepper, some cumin, and some chili powder, and just kind of wing it. Then last but not least, we need to chop our jalapeno. Before we finish that, it sounds like our sweet potatoes are almost done, so let's check on those. So they're definitely looking good. We're just gonna flip them over and cook them for another 15 minutes. So back to the jalapeno. Just want to de-seed it. So it looks like that. And if you didn't know, when you're working with jalapenos, you want to make sure that you don't really touch your eyes when you are working with them, because since they're so spicy, they can really burn your eyes. So just a fair warning. So then the next thing you want to do is chop it into really small pieces. Not a very fast chopper. Not one of those expert chefs that can like chop really fast, but do the best I can. So I do the first initial chopping and then I go back over them and chop them even finer, because I don't really like the big chunks of jalapeno in my burger, but I do like the flavor, so I just chop them really small. Next comes the fun part. We're gonna mash all of this together with our hands. But first, I wear a ton of rings, so I'm gonna take those off. Then you're gonna form this into 8 patties. These are sliders, so they obviously don't need to be huge. I usually make mine about that big. Our sweet potatoes are done, so we're gonna take those out of the oven. Perfect. We're just gonna set those aside to cool for now. Next, we're going to make some guacamole. But first, obviously, we need to have something to drink. Is anybody else as obsessed with LaCroix as I am? So we're gonna chop some red onion. So you only need about 1/4 cup of red onion, so not a whole lot. Oh my goodness. Whew. That is a strong onion. Same as I did with the jalapeno for the burgers, I'm gonna do a second go around for the onion because I don't really like huge chunks of onion in my guacamole. Next, we're gonna put in our garlic. Not quite sure it's all gonna fit in this bowl, but we're gonna try. Next, we're gonna cut another jalapeno. So the recipe calls for a whole jalapeno, but I think my burgers are gonna be pretty spicy, so I think I'm gonna just do half a jalapeno for the guacamole so that it's not crazy spicy. I'm just gonna save that for something else. Forgot that I should roll my lemon or my lime before I cut it, but oh well, we'll see how that goes. And we're gonna do some cilantro. This is always the point in the recipe where I get super impatient and get really messy with things because I just want it to be done so I can eat it. All right, so there's all of that. It did end up fitting in our bowl, so that's good. And just gonna put in some lime juice. It's definitely harder to squeeze limes if you don't roll them first, so highly recommend doing that. But I think we got it. Okay, then grab a fork and we'll mash it all together. Could do this in a food processor or maybe with a blender, but I don't have a food processor, and a fork actually works pretty well as long as your avocado is ripe. It doesn't have to be perfect by any means. There you go. So there's a whole recipe for a chipotle mayo that you can look at. I'm gonna put the link for this whole recipe in the bio so you can see the whole thing there, but I'm gonna just do the super easy route and just do some mayo, some sriracha, and some lime. Because at this point, I'm just getting impatient, so I'm gonna go easy. There's our sriracha and mayo. And then we're just gonna add some lime juice just for a little extra flavor and to thin out the consistency a little bit. Perfect. Sometimes going the easy way is the better way. In my book anyways. I'm sure there's some chef out there that's, you know, super disappointed in me, but that's okay. Done. So the last thing we need to do is cook up the burgers, and then we're gonna put it all together. All right, so we're gonna cook up our burgers. A little olive oil. Swish that around. Now, if it was up to me and I had built my house, which I do hope to do one day, I would love to have a countertop stove, because when I cook at a regular stove, as you can see, I'm about eye level with the flame, which can get super hot and just uncomfortable. And if I'm cooking anything like bacon or anything that splatters, I have to be super careful. Otherwise, it just gets in my face and it's just not a good thing. So hopefully one day I'll get to build a house and get to have it exactly the way I want it, with things at the height that I want it and all of that. Okay, so just gonna throw our burgers on. You can also do these in the broiler. I've done that a couple times. Works out super well, so that's definitely an option if you like using a broiler. But I am gonna turn the heat up a little bit. And let those cook away. This is a great recipe if you are trying to limit the amount of carbs that you're eating, which is something that I'm trying to do right now. If you eat paleo, this is a paleo recipe. It's super healthy because it's mostly meat and vegetables. So, but super delicious. I'm one of those people where if it doesn't taste good, I'm not gonna eat it. And if it's not pretty and look good, I'm not gonna eat it. So this meets all of those qualifications. Okay, so we have all of our pieces and parts together. And the one thing I didn't show you guys is to fry up some bacon. I actually already had some fried bacon in the freezer that I just needed to microwave. So this is ready to go. But if you don't have that, you want to fry some bacon. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and just chop this up with a pair of kitchen scissors. Doesn't have to be any specific way at all, just super quick chop. All right, there's that. So we're going to start with our sweet potato bun, and I'm gonna go ahead and put our burgers on top. Oh my goodness, this all smells so good. I wish you could smell this, but you will if you make these. All right. So good. Next, we're going to drizzle on some of our Chipotle mayo. Not quite thin enough to drizzle, so just a dollop is good too. And then you finish off with the bacon. This, I don't really care if it falls on the plate. I think it looks kind of pretty. So we're just gonna go for it. So here you have your finished sliders. Aren't they so beautiful and just, they're so scrumptious. I cannot wait to eat these. Obviously not all at once. I cannot wait for you guys to try them. I really hope you do. And yeah, if you want to see more recipes or more things in my kitchen, let me know. I am definitely open to ideas of what you guys want to see, especially right now with everybody at home. Let me know what you're looking for, and I will do my best to make some videos about those things. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and like this video, share it, make the recipe, tell me what you think, and I'll be back soon for more. Talk to you soon. Bye.